Hi, I'm Mary Lake. I would like you to know a little bit about my life. I was born in 1909, in Colonia Dublon, Chihuahua, Mexico, to William Bailey Lake and Sarah Emma Carroll. I do not have any photos of my early years, but this photo shows my parents and older siblings a few months before I was born. The poor Mexicans in northern Mexico were rebelling against mistreatment by wealthy landowners, and government troops were sent in to suppress the rebellion. After Grandpa Willard Carroll died in 1906, Grandma Charlotte and Uncle Tom's family moved to Grayson, Utah. My parents decided to also leave Mexico. In 1910 they packed up our wagons and moved to Grayson. The town was only 5 years old. By 1914 the town changed its name to Blanding and claimed a population of 500 people. I loved the teachings I received at the new Blanding Elementary School, and at the San Juan High School. I especially loved music. My father purchased a piano that the Butts family had freighted to Bluff. My older sister, Lottie, and I would play the tune Over the Waves over and over again. While I was growing up, I developed a deep faith in my Heavenly Father and the restoration of the gospel. I continued my music practice and served as the organist for the Blanding ward. Edward P. Kimball, the tabernacle organist, came to Blanding for a stake conference and taught a class for organists. Occasionally I was asked to sing in sacrament meetings as a special musical number. Upon graduation from high school, Grant Lee Shumway began courting me. Our courtship was hampered because of a spring epidemic of mumps and measles which many people in Blanding became sick with. I had both diseases at once and was very ill for some time. Lee was very much in love with me, and would come each evening to sit by my side. After I recovered we made marriage plans. In August of 1927 Lee borrowed his father's car and we drove to Salt Lake. Lee was age 21 and I was age 18. On the 16th we were endowed in the Salt Lake Temple and sealed for all eternity by Elder Joseph Fielding Smith. We returned to Blanding where we lived with my parents until we were able to get our own home. Lee was able to make bounty money by trapping coyotes during the winter from October to February. In August of 1928, Lee helped my parents move to Oakley, Utah. Then he returned again to Oakley, with me so I could be with my mother when our first child, Grant L. Shumway, was born on November 8, 1928 in the Lake's little log house. Upon my return to Blanding, I continued to serve in the Blanding ward and in August of 1929 was called to serve as second counselor in the primary. The next year on September 22, 1930 another son was born. We named him DeVan Lake Shumway. 1 week after DeVan's birth, Lee and his brother, Harris, left to go to the Navajo reservation to check their trap lines. 2 days later I became very ill and died. 2 brothers, Glenn and Seth, went hunting for Lee and Harris and found them about 25 miles south of Kayenta, Arizona. Blood poisoning took my life just 9 days after I delivered DeVan. Dr. Sherman had lost 8 women in birth and for this reason his license was revoked. It was such a sad time for all the families involved. The Lake family traveled to Blanding for the funeral and burial of their beloved daughter. My funeral was held in the Blanding Tabernacle and my primary children sang a song called Your Sweet Little Rosebud Has Left You. Here is a sample of the music. Eliza R. Snow wrote the words for a tune by Ebenezer Beasley. was buried in the Blanding Cemetery on the 3rd of October. My last words were concern for my sons. Grant remained in Blanding with his father, who had moved in with his parents. When the Lakes returned to Oakley, DeVan went with them and lived with them until he was married. Grant also spent many years living with relatives in Oakley. I am eagerly looking forward to the day when I can hold my beloved husband and 2 boys in my arms again.